There's a song I listen to a lot by a rapper named Rod Wave. Y'all might know him out of Florida. Young dude, but like I said, wise beyond his years. I talk about him on this channel every now and then. You might hear it. I got a good amount of rappers I listen to now. He's definitely one of them that I listen to consistently. So just to let y'all know. But anyway, he got a song it's called "The Mess They Made." And basically in the song, like I said, I don't know if you ever heard it or if y'all coming to the channel because you did hear it or whatever, but basically the song talks about things he went through in the streets, things he went through with women, and basically they kind of made a mess on his psyche, right? He got there's issues that he suffers from because of things that he went through in his life, which is stuff we all go through, right? Like different levels of that. But he talks about that. But one like interesting thing, I think, my opinion, is very interesting that he brings up is he talks about it like it's them making a mess, right? Like it's almost like, you walk in the house with your shoes dirty. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's in my opinion, that's an amazing way of looking at it. He's so young to be that introspective. You know what I'm saying? Smart dude for sure, but just very introspective. Like the way he's able to take his feelings and turn them into words, and find ways to do it that's different. He'll even sample some stuff that a lot of people my age and under won't even necessarily know the song. We won't necessarily know, but he's already heard it. He might have listened to it as a kid. So he has it seems like he has a really good understanding of music. You know what I mean? History and what we got going on currently. So to dial it all the way back, that's what I think about the song that's what I think he's discussing in the song. Things that he's been through and the mess that it made, not only on his psyche, like in terms of his mental health, right? But it changes the way he reacts to things, responds to things, changes the way he goes about life, changes the way changes life. So I don't think a lot of us talk about that. A lot of us run from a lot of that. You know what I mean? I know people that refuse to listen to certain music because it's just a little bit too, too much singing going on. You know what I'm saying? I advise y'all not to sleep on this dude. Let's talk about cleaning up psyche, cleaning up like the mess that people made and on psyches and all that, right? So what I talk about in the channel, mental health, all that good stuff, right? I talk about mental health, motivation, mindset, music. My first love, though, I'm gonna be real, is comedy. That's my first love. Everybody say I should have been a comedian, but everybody say everybody should have been a comedian, right? So I don't know. Consider myself funny. If you guys get some time, go check out my shorts, the YouTube shorts I did. There's probably like 40 of them, just random stupid stuff I'll be thinking about. But yeah, man. So I think with this brings about a discussion, right? When you talk about cleaning up the mess, and I talk about this a lot of people have not identified the mess. A lot of people think the mess is their personality. But what if there's a mess? What if there's a mess, right? Also, what are we consuming around us? Who are we hanging out with? What kind of music are we listening to? Who do we talk to? How do we consume social media? So, for example, Rod Wave, right? One of the things a rapper like Rod Wave, and there's a lot of other rappers similar type of content that you get. The first person I ever heard that I ever heard like talk about their mental health and how they are coping with certain things and made it seem like you'll be okay, I would say in my generation would be Kid Cudi. I think Drake might have dabbled in it. I'm not sure, but for sure Kid Cudi, for sure. Kid Cudi was like all the rest of like the Juice WRLDs and all the other one, like those are Kid Cudi's kids. Those are his children, in my opinion, because Nobody was talking about that before bro from Cleveland started doing it. So I think listening. So let's start here. Listening to music that kind of helps you, right? So I listen to. We're not gonna always listen to Kid Cudi. We're not gonna always listen to Rod Wave. You know, sometimes it might put you in a bad mood, right? Sometimes it might hype you up. Sometimes when I'm listening, like if it makes you sad, you can't listen to them where it just makes you too sad. There's a possibility that could mean you're in a better place right now. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes listening to it, like for me, listening to Rod Wave helps me feel like it's almost the music you listen to fight what's going on. You get what I'm saying? Like it's almost you listening to music that helps you fight like the issues that you have going on in your life. That's just my opinion on that. Some people it's too sad for them to listen to. Either you're running away from something, that's your battle. That's what you got going on, right? Or some people aren't running away. A lot of people, everybody ain't running away. Some people are, let's be real. Some people just don't like the music. Let's just be honest. Some people, all music ain't for everybody. Like, so that's one thing that I do. I listen to music that makes me feel as though things are okay. I listen to music that motivates me, that fuels me to get past certain things, right? And it also simultaneously it lets me know I'm not the only one going through it. I'm not alone. That's a big deal because we look to people that we look up to tell us certain things, to say, hey, this ain't just you going through this. This ain't just your problem. We look for people like that. We do. We can act like we don't, but we feel better when people that we look up to, or people that we idolize, right? To say, hey, I'm going through this too. A lot of people go, okay, cool. I'm not on my own. And I needed that back then. I'm 36 now. Rod Wave is like in his early 20s. So I don't look up to him. I just admire his work. So music that you're consuming, like I said, you don't need to consume just that kind of music. I listen to a whole bunch of type of music, but when I need to, it's there. The next thing is like, who are you around? Are you around people that sort of promote positivity in your life and upward, movement? Because it should always be onward and upward. You know what I'm saying? For you in life. But are you surrounding yourself by friends that care about that? Some of my friends, you know what I'm saying, they care about that type of stuff. Some of my friends don't know how to process that. They don't. They don't know how to. It's against the rules that as young black men, and a lot of times just young men, live by or that are taught. We're taught not to. But what happens is exactly what Rod Wave said. What happens is this. Now what happens when you have to clean up the mess they made? The mess you made too. Because don't forget, you made a mess too. There are decisions you made that led to situations happening too. So now we got to clean up that mess. If you were out there in the streets, right, you might have dabbled in a bit of gunplay. You might have sold drugs. You might have fought. You might have robbed people. You might have been in shootouts. All those types of things, chickens always come to roost. Now you find yourself, you can't be in large crowds. You don't like that. You can't go to the club. Anything might happen. You're looking at the exit. You count exits and entrances. You want everything moving, coming inside the club. You want he look a little on everything, right? Because you have been in situations where you have been the aggressor, or you've been on the other end, or you've done both, right? And now you know how things can go. And you feel you know how it looks before it's going to happen. There's so much, this stuff that we think is cool, I'm here to tell you, you have to clean it up. When your hair get gray and all this type of stuff, somebody got to come sweep that joint up off your psyche. And the funny thing is, the earlier you realize that, the more emotionally healthy and mentally healthy you'll be. A lot of us take that to the grave. And why was daddy like that? Why was mommy like that? Oh, mommy had a lot of stuff happen in her life. Daddy had a lot of stuff happen in his life. You just died with people just not being able to connect with you because you was too tough to open up, because you never learned how to open up properly, or something happened in your life that took that ability away from you. You know, a lot of us are doing stuff like that at a young age, right? Where, you know, you're supposed to have. You ever this might not be something you can relate to, I don't know, but you ever look at other people with other kids and stuff running around and think, when I was that age, I was not that happy. I was not that happy. And sometimes it's because you've already seen what the world has going on, like what's going on in the world around you, and you've already seen the darknesses of the world already. So you're like, this ain't. You get what I'm saying? That cool stuff, all that cool tough guy stuff. And the people that did it better than you, the best you've ever seen it done, that are in jail, they're gonna tell you not to do it. They get out and start peace organizations and all that. Because it's not it. It's not it, bro. That life is not lit, bro. It's lit while it's lit. While you're a kid, have fun. But when you become an adult, yeah, bro, it's over with. Let that joint go. That's just my opinion. Let that joint go. Anyway, that was my rant. Y'all can see, was I triggered or not? Nah? But anyway, yeah, so the people around you, you know, you want to keep positive people around you that understand that. That's hard, though. I would say out of everything, that's the hardest. And I guess for me, the next thing is like, what are you doing? Have you found something that you're truly interested in? Have you know what I'm saying? Because we're talking about cleaning up the mess that was made, right? And these are the things you need to do aside from counseling, right? These are the things you need to do aside from therapy. Is you need to put yourself in a position to where when you finally do the work and you finish it off, it'll actually stick. That your people got to be solid, right? You have to consume more things that are positive and solid. You have to find things that you're interested in. I got a buddy right now. Total transition, in my opinion, right? Than what how he used to be. You get what I'm saying? My man, you know, was not soft. You know what I'm saying? He's not soft still to this day, but he wasn't soft. He was one of those guys that we were, a lot of us were could be considered guys that maybe parents will say, hey, don't hang out with that person, right? If they knew how you know what I mean? This particular person now, man, my man wear overalls and straw hats, and he wants to live on a farm. He listens to country music. Still fly though. He's still fly though. He always been fly. He's still fly. But you know what I'm saying? That's what he does now. You know what I mean? And he's interested in that country, all that, right? So total transition. And it's crazy because and I remember he dropped his street name and picked up another name that he felt worked better for him, right? And you know, part of it is a lot of y'all will say, oh man, you guys are grown now. It's just growing up. No, it ain't always growing up. Because I got 10 times as many people I could pull on right now that's fresh out of jail, probably finna go back, that's older than me, for sure older than me. Don't forget, I'm just 36. I know people pushing 50 that's still on that same height. So that's not about growing up. It's only partially about that. Get what I'm saying? As you get older, you learn more. You're supposed to become more wise. You don't always work. Common sense ain't always a thing, right? And you don't always become more wise. Sometimes you stay the fool that you always been. Sometimes you stay the fool that you've always been. Right? I'm just being honest with you. So anybody that ever, like, don't assume people growing up and that makes them better every time. They just become better. They grow out of it and whatever. Everything's not a child, something that children do. Everything's not considered childish everywhere you go. Right? It's not considered immature to sell drugs. You get what I'm saying? It's not considered immature to join an enterprise that does illegal things, that deals illegal substances, right? That's not considered immature to people that have to do that to eat. You get what I'm saying? So if you haven't had to do that, then it's a possibility that you might not understand it. It's the reality of it. You know what I mean? I'm not here calling nobody out. I'm just saying sometimes, we like to assume things. Sometimes we like to, when you're young, you know what I'm saying? You 16, 17, whatever, out there in the business of pharmaceuticals, doing your thing, right? And at that point in time, more than likely, you out there trying to get the newest J's, right? Because your parents or your grandparents or parent or grandparent can't afford it, right? So you out there trying to get nice, get your clothes, you know what I'm saying? Get some money in your pocket, get the women and whatever, right? That might be what you're trying to do, right? And that's more than likely at that young age that's the case because you don't have bills. Now you will run into some kids who were in a situation where they had to almost pretend to be another parent in terms of bringing in money. And some of those kids dropped out of school because they had to get money. They had to, right? And I'm not telling you the parents told them to, you know what I'm saying? But just remember, all these things contribute into the mess, right? That they have to clean up later. We all have to clean this up later. If we don't, we sever the relationship with people around us that we care about. We strain it. You can't go through all these things and come out and everything be okay. Everything be regular. You might think it's regular. Go around some people that are actually regular. I challenge you to do that. Go take your I know I'm about to use illegal firearms and dabbled in pharmaceuticals and did all this and had all these crazy things happen and take that and go sit at a Starbucks in Glendale, California, right? And see, don't you feel different? See, don't you look different? See, right? I mean, and you doesn't even have to be there. Go around people that are mentally and emotionally healed. Go around those people. And you know how they look. You can spot one quick, huh? They can spot you quick too. Go around them. That's why you deserve, because you feel different. That's why you deserve not to feel different. Your past does not dictate who you are to that degree. It could dictate who you were, but it can't dictate who you're gonna be. So you have the ability to change that. If you feel, like I said, if you could point out a square, right? A square, which is a crazy, talk to somebody who's been there and done all that, and they'll tell you that's what you need to go be. Go find you a square, get in that box, if you can. That'll be the best thing you ever did in your life. Stay in school, kids. They're telling you, that's a blanket statement. That means become a square, right? Because a square is a person, honestly, that got their head on straight, that you should be. That's a square. But because people might not have proximity to being a square or to that lifestyle, right? They downplay it. They make fun of it, right? I've done it, and because the world makes you become a different person, makes you become different, My bad, y'all. My phone alarm and all that. But yeah, a lot of the times it makes you become a different person. The world, right? The world. It's like, because the world makes you become, the world makes you into something. The people around you make you into something, or your family, or your environment, or whatever makes you into something different. You might get mad at the kid across from you that isn't there, that isn't like that. And you could tell the difference. You might get mad. So now we throw out blanket, we throw out statements. Square? Oh, you a square. You know what I mean? We had all kind of different, you know what I mean? That was because you didn't do the bad things we did, because we were taught to, or because we thought we had to, or because sometimes we had to, whatever, right? So because of that, we attack you. So, like I said, all that type of stuff is because of mess on your psyche. That's all a mess that you got to come back and clean up. Once you do some cleaning, you realize you were wrong and why you're wrong. Things start to come up. Who helped you become more wrong? You know? So get positive people around you. Find some things you like to do, some things you're interested in, and consume more positive things. You get what I'm saying? I'm talking about Rod Wave. For me, that's one of the many positive artists that I listen to. You know, you got your Cuttings, your J. Cole's, there's a bunch of people I listen to that are positive, that make you feel motivated to get out there and go do something. But those are my three pillars that I like to, that I see people that go through therapy, I see them do those types of things. So those are the 3 pillars that I like to keep in my life. The people around me got to be on point, right? And not to the point where it's a job. They just need to be those types of people. The things that I consume got to be on point. And I also got to do things that I like to do from time to time. I like comedy. I get out there and I go to a comedy show, right? So you get what I'm saying. But I'm going to holler at y'all. Y'all let me know in the comments how you feel about it.